Pizza guys of Reddit, what's the strangest thing you've seen when delivering pizzas? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will sleep in a trailer. I deliver for DoorDash and Grubhub, sometimes pizzas. One time I picked up an order from each app, same exact order, from the same restaurant, both named James, to the same hotel. When I knocked on the door, two guys were there and asked me which was I, DoorDash or Grubhub. I told them I was both and have both orders. They started to laugh really hard. When I asked what was so funny, they told me they had a bet on which one would come first. They thought it was going to be two different drivers and never thought one person would be using both apps. I laughed too and asked them which one was James. They told me they are both named James. I still wonder what other funny things those two guys try come up with. One time I, a retired Pizza Hut driver, and a Papa John's driver were at an apartment at the same time. We both start walking up the stairs. After the third flight I asked her, "Are you going to 308? We had a good laugh knowing we were going to the same place at the same time. The ladies at the apartment laughed pretty good when we were both standing there when they opened the door. One of the funniest moments I had while delivering. I play both sides so I always come out on top. Was delivering to a hotel. Had a guy pass out on me 3 separate times in a 10-minute encounter. Apparently he was narcoleptic, but it still scared the crap out of me. Narcoleptic here. He was probably having a cataplexy attack. We don't actually pass out, we're still conscious, but we lose control over our muscles so we look passed out. There's also the scenario where it's only partial, then it looks like a seizure, because we try to move only to cause spasms. It's triggered by emotion so he probably got nervous or something. He was too excited for the pizza. Some dude opened the apartment door completely naked. I was stunned, but what came after that made me ask myself, is he some kind of freaking magician? He put a hand behind his back and pulled a wallet. Only reasonable explanation I could give myself was that he tucked the wallet between his butt cheeks. Quite the power move to be honest. Establishing dominance is key. I was delivering a pizza to this house in a pretty rough neighborhood. These 3 cholas answered the door, and when the one guy stepped back to get the money I noticed huge amounts of money, and so much meth and enough weed to kill Snoop Dogg and around 20 guns. I was so scared. He gave me a tip of $20 cash and told me not to tell anyone. Hopefully they aren't Redditors. You just snitched on me, you fricked up. Just simply coming up and there were 3 guys in underwear waiting for me. Handing the pizzas over and more just start coming out in underwear, and these were also wearing cowboy hats and native headdresses. Some kind of bro Halloween party or something. Got to grab my tip out of the dude's bra. It was funny as hell, but when I left the building I had to process for a moment what the hell happened. Probably just the casting call for the new Village People reboot. Did you deliver a Graham Ranch? Some guy ordered a large pet pizza. When I got to the house he wasn't there, so I called him out. He told me he was in the bathroom taking a shoot and I had to wait 18ish minutes to get my pay. Shoulder taxed him a slice or 2 for the wait. LOL, I wouldn't even be mad if he really waited 18 minutes for me to answer the door. Just the other day showed up to a house to be greeted by 2 guys, about 25, on the roof in underwear, clearly ecstatic about the pizza being delivered. Did you Walter White the pizza up there? Had someone answer the door once with a snake on his shoulders. Not like a milk snake or a garter, but a bull python, probably about 6 feet long. As he closed the door I heard him say to someone that I hadn't reacted at all, LOL. Sounded so disappointed. Was it a rental snake? Red next to black. Jump the frick back. I heard the rhyme as black on yellow. Don't frick with snakes. Red on black. Don't frick with snakes. I once delivered a pizza late at night. The person who took the call told me that the person who ordered, let's call him Mark, was an old man and may take a while to get to the door. I get to the house and all the lights are off. No car in the driveway. I ring the doorbell. No answer. I knock on the door. No answer. I call the person's phone. No answer. Call again. Still nothing. At this point I had waited for about 15 minutes for this person and was walking back to my car to leave when I hear the front door open, so I go back. Again, there aren't any lights on, so I can only see the head of a young woman peek from behind the door, and she refuses to open it all the way, even to take the pizza. I then hear another woman behind her saying, "Who cares if he sees? Open the door." So, she opens it a little more to sign the receipt. She couldn't see, so I offer to shine my phone's flashlight so she can sign the receipt. I then realize that both of these women are naked. Me being the good employee, I was averted my eyes as she signed the receipt, and I start walking back to my car. As I was walking away, one of the women yells to me, "Have a good night, you know Marcus." And I burst into laughter as I had totally forgot that this was the house of an elderly man. Mark can't come to the door, he's tied up. I delivered a pizza to a young girl who was home alone, and when she opened the door her dog immediately ran away. I handed her the pizza, got in my car, found the dog and returned it. She left me no tip, so I was feeling kind of salty about it on the way back to the restaurant. A few hours later her mother called the store asking to speak to me. She thanked me and explained they had left tip money, but their daughter was so upset about the dog she forgot to give it to me. I worked at this pizza place for 2 more years through college, and they would get 2 large pepperoni pizzas and request me to deliver it every week after that. They always tipped me at least $25. I am so happy that the ending is happier than the beginning was making it look like it was going to be. Also good on you, dude, for being the man and finding her dog. This buggers can run far and hide well. A bastion of wholesomeness among overweight nudists. This comment is: you're implying overweight nudists are not wholesome. They're whole. Back in college when I used to deliver pizzas, I delivered to the local county jail. An officer was taking someone to jail. The guy going to jail, still with his hands cuffed behind his back, got away from the officer and took off as I was walking in and ran into me. I'm pretty sure this guy was tripping on meth. The officer caught up to both of us on the ground and were able to subdue him. I was covered pizza sauce and the officers on shift took the pizza, paid, and each gave me $20. I told my manager and we remade the order for the officers and I redelivered the order. The police were grateful and I was given another tip. One deliver and I made about $400. I should add, every time they ordered pizza from us again they always requested the guy who knew how to take a charge and would always tip me well. Good times. I thought this was going to turn into a Spider-Man type of situation where you let him get away and then he later murdered your uncle. I was delivering a pizza to a high-rise once on a Saturday night. Got in the elevator and there was a guy dressed like a pimp who tried to buy my pizza from me that I was about to deliver. He didn't even ask what kind or what size, he just pulled out a $100 bill and said, "I buy that $4.100," and I politely turned him down. So he pulled out another $100 and offered me $200. I told him I could get fired. Man, that was hard to turn down. Here's where things get totally fricked up. When I get to the door of the guy I am delivering it to, he opens the door and is dressed like a pimp also, like huge colorful jacket, and he grabs the pizza and gives me a $100 bill and shuts the door. Pizza was about $35, so a $65 tip. Pimp friends were definitely testing the loyalty of their local pizza store. A previous co-worker of mine delivered pizza when he was in college, and he told me that he once pulled up to a house and a group of high schoolers ran across the street with a finish line when he got there. They ordered from Pizza Hut and Domino's at the same time. I don't remember which one he worked for, but he won the race. I wanna try this now. Me and a couple of friends used to do this when we were younger. Everyone had their own preferences for food, so we might order delivery from 3-4 different restaurants at a time. We let the places know there was always an extra $5 for whoever got there first. It was almost always Jimmy John's. I delivered a pizza to this house, and when I was standing on the front steps waiting for the guy to pay, I could hear all this hootin' and hollerin' from inside. The guy keeps looking back into the living room and laughing. After punching in his info, he hands the machine back to me and says, "Frick man, you gotta see this." He steps back and I walk into the living room where there's probably 5 other dudes watching some guy frick this 700-pound woman's folded over stomach on a massive TV. There goes my pizza delivering dream job. I've been delivering food in general for 2 years. I've done just over 3,500 deliveries and unfortunately I haven't seen a single strange thing. Not even something simple like a naked person. Maybe you just have high standards for what you consider strange. Yeah, I suppose after delivering to your 69th swingers party it doesn't seem that unusual. One of our neighbors killed a pizza guy. Pizza guy was working his way through college. Neighbor got life for very premeditated murder. Feel bad for the lad. He was just trying to get some pay to support college or gain some experience, and gone just like that. There was this house where a young couple had ordered pizza. I reached quite early and probably disturbed their session. The drunk dude had no idea that he had put on his girl's skirt. Not strange, but very difficult not to laugh at. That was just his kilt. Had to hide his Loch Ness monster. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will sleep in a trailer.